Hello everyone, this is Get Inspired with Dea Lyeese. Thanks for joining me. Today's topic is truth over emotions. Watch out for the blind spots. Oftentimes our feelings change on a frequent basis. It can be related to our outlook, encounter, mood, rest, responsibilities, environments, or even our patterns. It is normal to experience different feelings in each of those areas. What can be detrimental is when our feelings play on our emotional state, which then blinds us from the truth. Our emotional state of being doesn't always present the best outlook for us. It can trap us into deception. It is extremely important for us to anchor ourselves in the truth. The truth is found in God's Word. His Word has an answer for every need we desire to be fulfilled. His truth directs us in our going and coming. It will also calm our emotions. When we make emotional decisions, more than likely they will not line up with His truth. So how do we get past the emotions? Listen to God. We can't escape our emotional makeup. However, we can learn to escape from emotional choices. God's Word helps us to stay in line with His purpose. We must think beyond our emotions and speak boldly to God. He responds to our call. Make a habit of speaking God's Word to yourself. It is a great way to encourage yourself. Our minds play on our emotions. When we remain in God's Word, we can experience a more positive outlook and mindset. We should ward off those negative thoughts that hinder our emotions and affect our results, responses, decisions, and choices. God is always with us through every test when we invite Him in our lives. He can comfort us in any emotional crisis. Wrap yourself in His truth. Now let's talk about the blind spots. Oftentimes, Satan will establish a blind spot to shake our faith. Blind spots block our perception. If we have a need, it's important to remind God of His Word. He shall supply all of our needs. When there is an access blocker, it's because we've allowed fear, doubt, and negative thoughts to convince us that we won't or can't get through. We can have what God says we can have and do what He says we can do if we believe it. It's important to decipher what needs to be moved out of the way in order to receive it. Most importantly, so we can pray concerning the blocker and get past the blind spot. 90% of the battle is changing your mindset about it. The latter 10% is how you respond to it. You can move mountains when your responses to those situations line up with God's Word, and you can only respond appropriately if you renew your mind concerning the situation. If you try to fight the blind spot through your flesh and/or emotions, the success rate is slim to none. If access already belongs to you, then it's already yours anyway. If you give up your access, it's because you didn't fight it in the right way. And if there is no consistency in the Word, then Satan will utilize your weak moments to throw in a blind spot. More than likely, you missed the blind spot approaching because you've gotten away from His Word. Our strength to fight is in the Word. Blockers, in some case, create emotional wounds. And through those emotional wounds, our thoughts, actions, words, and attitudes help aid Satan in establishing blind spots in our lives. He knows just what to throw in our faces to make us crumble. We can't give him free rein and access to parade our lives with his mere shenanigans. When we're connected to the access releaser, the waymaker, Jesus Christ, we can defeat and remove the blind spots. Without faith, we have no access to God. And whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. John 14:13. Here at Get Inspired, we have a prayer list called 100 Blessings from God, in efforts to pray for others and see the manifestation of God's blessings through your prayer request. When prayers are answered, we add another prayer as they are requested with the opportunity to pray for hundreds. If you desire prayer, please drop your request in the comments below or send us an email at getinspired.thejourney@gmail.com. This is Get Inspired with Dea Lyeese. Thanks for joining me. Be safe, blessed, and prosperous.